folks are going to be thinking, what's he talking about? I actually think it matters what you say you're going to do if you're running for president. So, maybe he'll get around to it, maybe he won't. But I'm voting for placing my trust in the American people, who are going to be able to figure out who actually has your back when it comes to the economy. And the same is true for education. There is no doubt that a great private university like Transy right here, which by the way I know is the oldest university west of the Alleghenies, the oldest university right here in Kentucky, and that other great university, the home of the Wildcats, one a public university, one a private university, but all part of what we in this country have made the best higher education system in the world. And I do not understand why your governor, your new governor, wants to begin to cut it and cut it and cut it. Because I'll tell you what, we're just talking about the economy. There is no doubt if you look at how we're going to be competitive, create jobs, move into the future, higher education has a huge role to play. Higher education stimulates a lot of economic development. It's not just the innovation and the inventions and the research. It's really constantly looking for how we best train and provide skills for people. That's why I believe community college should be free, because we need to have 2 additional years of education in America on top of K through 12. I think we ought to be putting technical education back into more high schools so more high school kids can get prepared. And I think we need to do a lot more to say to young people, not everybody does need to get a 4-year degree. We have a lot of jobs in America, 1.2 million last I checked, that require skills. Welders, machinists, tool and die makers, carpenters, people with skills. There are good jobs, and I want to see more people get those good jobs through skill training, apprenticeship programs, and the like. But we've got to make college more affordable, and I have a plan to do that, a debt-free plan. And we've got to take the burden of debt off of our young people. Let everybody refinance their debt. Get that interest rate down. And I agree completely with Governor Beshear. Healthcare is one of the most important economic issues as well as personal, human issues. And maybe if you have all the healthcare you need and you've got good insurance, you don't recognize that. But I was raised to believe in the golden rule. And that does not mean that he who has the gold rules. And there's been too much of that in America lately, where people who have their health care taken care of want to take it away from people who need it. You got a governor doing something along those lines. You've got Donald Trump saying, oh, he's going to repeal the Affordable Care Act. I feel very committed to it. Before there was something called Obamacare, there was something called Hillary Care, right? And we worked really hard to get to universal health care coverage. We weren't successful. I turned around and worked with Republicans and Democrats to create the Children's Health Insurance Program that insures 8 million kids. So when President Obama signed the Affordable Care Act, I was thrilled, because too many people for too long have been left out. I'll tell you just a quick story. When I was working on health care reform back in the early 90s, I traveled around the country. I met with doctors, nurses, all kinds of health professionals, and I met with a lot of families I was at the Children's Hospital in Cleveland, and I was sitting in a conference room. And I was talking to families, parents who had really sick kids who could not get insurance. Because in those days, if you had a pre-existing condition, you were out of luck. That's one of the things the Affordable Care Act did. Whether or not you're on the Connect or the exchange, you now can get health insurance. And one man looked at me and he said, I've got two daughters with cystic fibrosis, and I can't get insurance. He said, I'm a successful businessman. He went on to say, I insure all my employees, but I can't buy insurance for my two daughters. I said, what do they say to you when you go to one of their offices, talk to an insurance agent or company? He said, well, the last person I talked to listened to me, and then he just looked at me and he said, you don't understand. We don't insure burning houses. And this man talking to me had tears in his eyes. And he said, they called my little girls burning houses. I want you to remember that, because you do away, you repeal, you get rid of the Affordable Care Act, you better be really sure what you're going to get in its place, because more than likely, it'll go back to where we were. You have a pre-existing condition, you're out of luck. You have a lifetime limit on your insurance policy and somebody's really sick in your family, you're out of luck. You're a woman, you will pay more for your insurance again. You're out of luck. You're a young person up to the age of 26 on your parents' policy, you're out of luck. The changes were not just for the people who signed up for it. It changed the way all of us are treated in the insurance market. And that makes a really big difference. So I'm going to improve it. I want to get costs down. We got to get out-of-pocket costs, co-pays, deductibles, premium costs. We got to get prescription drug costs down. That will be my focus.